Hey guys, I'm back again and I'm here today to do a video review of The Circle by Dave Eggers, and this is a very large edition and it is published by Hamish Hamilton. This was my book club's 5th pick for 2018. The Circle is basically a story about a young woman who she's like a young college graduate, and she just gets hired at this company called The Circle, which is a little bit like if Google, Facebook, and Instagram got together and made this big, huge organization online. Now, I had some trouble with this book. Number one trouble was it was 491 pages, and in my opinion, I think it's 150 pages too long, but you know, anyway. I did not enjoy reading this book because I felt like it was boring, and I felt like there were some things that were missing, essential things missing in order for this story to come together to really make a punch like I think it wanted to make, but didn't. So the first problem that I had with it, which is I think a really big problem for me, is the main character. Her name is May Holland. Like I said, young college graduate. She is the only child, and she has a fairly close relationship with her mother and father. Her father is sick. He has MS, and it's getting progressively worse. Now, the thing about it is, these are the only things that we know about this character, May Holland. And I think this is why, for me personally, I had trouble actually caring about anything that was happening to the main character. Because basically the story is told through her eyes. So we see May Holland in the beginning as a naive young woman who's about to embark on this very important job with this so-called perfect company with a really good salary. And so we basically see how she gets enveloped into this company and is literally brainwashed into the beliefs of the company, The Circle. So since we see the story basically through her eyes, I expected to know more about her as a person than I actually learned about her. You know, so we basically see that she's sort of like some kind of a blank slate. We talked about this at the book club meeting, and half of us agreed and the other half did not agree. And that is the fact that when you're in your early 20s, you're like a blank slate. Like you're not a fully formed adult yet, and so it's very easy to take this young person and kind of brainwash them into, or mold them into what we really want. And so that is the part that for me personally falls down, because that may be true to a certain extent, but that doesn't excuse the fact that the author made no effort to build this character, in my opinion. Now, the second thing that annoyed me was that this company, The Circle, I was incapable of imagining what this place looked like, because it is never really described what it looks like. So you basically are moving around in this company, and a lot of the story takes place in that company. I mean, there are moments where it takes place in other places. For example, in May Holland's parents' home, but a lot of the time they're at The Circle. And I mean, I don't know. Am I supposed to imagine it's a circle? I don't know. I can't really put my finger on what this place is supposed to look like. Not only that, but some parts of the story, there are certain areas in The Circle that are described, but he puts a lot of effort into describing that place or these places, but the problem is they don't correlate to anything, so they don't mean anything to you as you're reading the story. You just kind of like okay, fine. but you have nowhere to place this description in order for it to make sense. So those are the things that kind of disturb me about the book as a whole. Now, the things that I think are interesting about the book is the topic. This online topic. What is it, this life online? What if your life was completely and totally online? What kind of horrible things could that bring for the world, or for a country, or for citizens? This is a topic that could be discussed constantly and in all different shapes and forms, platforms. You know, it could be in a book or a movie. Speaking of which, the movie was not too good, apparently, from what I understand online. Nobody said it was good, so I don't know. But the topic is a valid topic, and we did speak a little bit about this topic during the book club. Now, that's all I have to say about this book, because I don't really have that much else to say about it. Would I recommend it? Personally, it was a bit of a bore, so I can't recommend it. I think I gave it 2 stars. Mostly because of the topic. Now, the person that I think should have written this book, who could have done a lot better job on it, would have been Dan Brown. I think if Dan Brown would have wrote this, it probably would have been very intricate, and the descriptions would have been more useful, and he probably would have really gone to town with this whole topic. But I think in general, a lot of the book club members felt that this book was specifically written as a topic of discussion about online life, and that its literary worth is not particularly the best. So that's all I have for you today. Let me know if you read The Circle and if you're planning on reading it, or if you would put it on your TBR. Drop me a line below. I'm interested to talk about it. Let's see what you got to say.